Oh, we're live? I didn't realize. Oh, hey, Matt Morrow here, Pep Man, Charlotte Football Insiders. When we're running late for Football Focus Weekly, the best thing we can do is to enjoy a nice, refreshing body armor. Gold berry's my new favorite flavor. But also, a good classic like strawberry banana is always good to quench your thirst. But my ultimate personal favorite, orange mango. That's why I got the 28-ounce bottle. Superior hydration. Body Armor. The unofficial drink of Football Focus Weekly. When you're running late, quench your thirst. It soothes your soul. Gets the show back ready on time. But now, let's get ready for week 1. And I'm going to enjoy this Body Armor while you watch the opening credits. I'm slamming this week is snow tubing. Snow tubing, number one, is not made for men of my stature. I can't deal with this Man 21 game, man. It's so terrible.
Y'all act like football stops being played when y'all leave Mecklenburg County. We play football here in Cabarrus County too. And then even though it was raining, I was rolling around in the yard doing freaking grass angels out there.
Hallelujah!
Hey.
Oh my God.
Hey, all I'm gonna say is make sure your wife, your girlfriends, your mistress, look, I'm back.
See, I got my hat on backwards. And it ain't because I'm a G either. It's because I'm angry. I'm going to tell y'all why I'm angry.
So I'm gonna have to slide. This is gonna be a large group of people. So I might have to like walk around with like a slime gun or a slime cannon, or maybe put the slime in like an old school super soaker.
Joe Hughes! Joe Hughes! Cowboy Joe! And you know it's a big night if Cowboy Joe's here. My goodness.
Y'all always put me on blast first, man. Who am I slamming? Good question.
You know, name, image, and likeness does not only apply to college players. You know, we are available for that here at Football Focus Weekly, and we like to thank Body Armor for their support of the CFI Classic and all of the things that they've supported us on throughout the years. Pep Man Matt Morrow, welcome to Football Focus Weekly, week 1. We've got the crew back this week. I hope everyone enjoyed their vacation. Let's bring them in. We have the engine, Kenneth Mcclamrock.
What's up? What's up?
What's up, man? We have the producer.
I don't know what it is, man, but suddenly I'm in the mood for some superior hydration.
Absolutely. It's always good to quench your soul. And the impeccable Queen, who we got multiple questions about you, Queen, at the CFI Classic last week. A lot of people were wanting to see you. So I just wanted to make you aware of that.
The paparazzi.
Yeah, exactly. So it's good to have you guys back. I felt lonely last week. You know, it felt like I didn't have my guys, man, and ladies. You know, it was hard, but we got through it.
You did a fine job.
I'm glad you made it, man.
It was satisfactory. Thank you for that rousing bit of support there. All right. So we're running late. Thank you for all the comments on the side there. We do have a lot to get to in week 1. Real quick, though, COVID is just making a mess of schedules right now. So I've got a whole slideshow that we're going to use. And if I didn't update something, then just know I just didn't get the chance to do it. So we're going to get that up on the screen now, and we're going to start with something new that we're calling the Dirty Dozen. So what is the Dirty Dozen, you ask? The Dirty Dozen is going to be our version of area rankings that include Mecklenburg County, Gaston County, Cleveland County, Union County, and Cabarrus County. So we're ranking the top teams in those areas, including private schools. And as soon as I get my life together, we're going to get it on the screen. All right. So here we go. With the Dirty Dozen debut. That's what we got right there, baby. All right. So I'll let you guys kind of read that a little bit and form some thoughts here. Oh, we got to get Joe Hughes in there. Y'all see Joe?
Nah.
You don't see? Oh, there he is. Okay.
He's sitting in the dark.
What's up, man? Good to have you. All right. So, in our opinion right here, well, my opinion, I made the list, but I'll let you guys chime in a minute. Joe's got to get his stuff together. So, I got Chambers number 1, Huff number 2, Catholic number 3, Butler 4, Myers Park 5, and Hickory Ridge 6. That's the top 6 of the Dirty Dozen.
Before Coach Webb gets in here, Coach Webb, Big Shelby, man, I disagree with this. I'm just going to go ahead and put it out there. I know Coach Webb is watching. Big Shelby.
Oh, he is. He's already commented. He's already commented.
Already. It's already wrong. Already.
And then in the second half of the dozen, Big Shelby, as you said, Kenneth, number 7. Weddington, I know some people say they're a little bit down, but you know, I still think they're a top 10
Their
team
down
here.
is still pretty high.
Exactly. And I got Burns at 9. People believe Shelby and Burns are pretty much even in Cleveland County. Providence Day 10 with the immense amount of talent on that team right now. Monroe at 11, another very talented athletic team, and then Charlotte Christian at 12. That's just a total respect to Coach Eastep and what he's built over there with all the championships that they've won at the NCIS AA level. So, Kenneth, I'll give you first shot at what you disagree with on here.
Yeah, I mean, I think, you know, the top 2 are a no-brainer. Chambers and Huff deserve to be up there. I think where Butler fans will take obvious issue is with 3 and 4. I do think that those 2 teams are in the top 4 right now. It's a toss-up in the preseason. Who knows? Myers Park. It'll be interesting to see where Myers Park is a week from now, 2 weeks from now. I think Hickory Ridge is definitely a top team in the area. They're a top team in the state. And I think Shelby and Weddington round the top 8 for me makes perfect sense. I don't know about Wandale Burns and Providence Day and Charlotte Christian. I just don't know that much about you. And I think Monroe definitely is a top 12 team in our area.
Absolutely. Producer, you got some thoughts on this?
I think like Ken said, 1 and 2, there's no debate there. Any debate comes out to 3 and on. I think there's a bit of a question mark, not from a talent standpoint on Myers Park, but they've had a coaching shape up, so we got to make sure. On paper, obviously the talent is still there, but we got to make sure that that coaching change up doesn't change things there. So they probably should still be there, but we got to see them on the field, to be sure. I'm very much so leaning to swapping your 3 and 4. I'm really leaning towards putting Butler 3, Charlotte Catholic 4 though. But the rest, I'm not really arguing with the rest of it. I think Hickory Ridge definitely belongs to be there based on their body of work and what they got coming back. So not much. If I was going to change anything, it would be swapping the 3 and the 4. But other than that, no. The 12 teams you have here, to me, deserve to be there.
Yeah, and I can get the 3 and the 4 thing with Catholic and Butler. Joe, I want to get your thoughts on Catholic a little bit because I think you were at the Jamboree with Kings Mountain. Kings Mountain, defeated Charlotte Catholic 14-3 in the Jamboree. And I know Catholic, they early in the season they typically work on different things and combinations of kids and rotating people in and out. So you can take it with a grain of salt, but because of that result, some people feel like Butler should be ahead of Catholic, in this kind of situation right here when you're ranking teams preseason. Queen, you got any thoughts on the Dirty Dozen?
I think I'm with everybody else as far as, where they're placed. I'm actually okay with Butler being at 4, simply because coming out of the spring season, Catholic did get their championship, whereas Butler didn't. And so I'm not sure as to how much talent they've been able to add to their team, but I know they lost some good talent as well. So I think putting them at 4 is actually not a bad thing. Again, with Myers Park, a lot of questions for those guys, just with everything that's happened to them, from spring until now. So I'm really interested to see if they can maintain, that 5th spot, or if they move up, or if they move out. Hickory Ridge, I got to watch them a little bit, like I said last season. So I think 6 is a solid spot for them. So I'm okay with this list.
All right. Thank you, Queen. Joe, you got anything you want to chime in on with right here?
I actually think Monroe should probably be up a little bit, to be honest. I'm pretty high on those guys, especially with Shalik back. Of course, that'll kind of put you around with Shelby and Burns, because I think those 3 teams are pretty much up to par with each other in 2A. But otherwise, I have no problem with it. Putting Charlotte Catholic and Butler 3 and 4, switching them, it doesn't really matter. I think you're splitting the hairs there.
Thank you, Joe. I appreciate that. And Joe is reporting he's covering baseball right now, and he's still coming in and checking in on Football Focus Weekly. See, that's why, man. That's why I love these guys. That the dedication of all you guys make this show what it is. It's awesome. It's awesome.
If you keep paying me as good as you're paying me, dedication's going to stay there.
Don't tell no secrets. Don't tell no secrets. All right. We're gonna meet you there for a second, Joe. There's a lot going on over there. But that's the Dirty Dozen. We're gonna see that every week. We're gonna focus on these counties. We're gonna see who the best are around the area, and try to give you that snapshot of if this person played this person, this person would win. So I look at it as a true power poll.
Pep, I love this. This shows that there's football that's played outside of Cabarrus County. I mean, we're giving recognition to some of the top teams in the state that play in our backyard that not everybody in Charlotte gets to see in person, man. Shout out to Pep, man, for putting this Dirty Dozen together. I love it.
Thank you, Engine. I appreciate it, man. So, real quick, we'll get to a couple comments. Duff, I'll say this: Gaffney was up 19-0 in that scrimmage with their starters. They took the starters out. Weddington did win the scrimmage, but once again, you take jamborees and scrimmages with a grain of salt. Let's see here. Kyle Iredale plays football too. Yeah. Hey man, we can only do so much right now. I wish I could rank all the teams in the state, but some people are just better than others. So I'll just leave it at that. All right. Coach Webb, disappointed that Shelby isn't top 5. Well, hey, we're going to see you Friday, man. So Shelby has a chance to impress. Me and our producer will be there. And if y'all put on a show, hey, we'll put you in the top 5.
Look at Coach Webb's form in that picture. Woo, looking good, Coach Webb.
Producer, you had a thought there?
I was gonna say once they get to like 5, he'll say, "Well, why aren't we in top 3?" But nothing wrong with that though.
Oh, good stuff, man. Good stuff. So we're running behind. I was going to spend a little more time on the dozen, but we got to get to the next thing. So now the next new thing we're doing this year are county rankings. So I'll let you guys take that in real quick, and I'm going to go through the county rankings here, and these are going to include upstate South Carolina, but we'll get there in just a second. All right, so Mecklenburg County, the top 4. Chambers, number 1, Huff 2, Catholic 3, Butler 4. And Gaston County, 1, Southpointe, 2, Ashbrook, 3, Forest View, and 4 is Mountain Island. Cabarrus County, we got Hickory Ridge 1, Mount Pleasant 2, J.M. Robinson 3, Coxonville 4, and Kenneth looks like he's got the bus, so I'll let him go first here in just a second. Cleveland County, we got number 1, Shelby, number 2, Burns, 3, Kings Mountain, 4 Crest. Union County, we got 1, Weddington, 2, Monroe, 3, Porter Ridge, and 4, Marvin Ridge. And in upstate South Carolina, a new area that Football Focus Weekly is going to be focusing on this season. Number 1, Southpointe, 2, Northwestern, 3, Catawba Ridge, and 4, Nation Ford. Kenneth, what you got?
I'm going to start with my people, Cabarrus County. If you've watched the show for the past year, you know how much love I have for Coach Mike Johns and his Mount Pleasant Tigers. They had an incredible season, one of the greatest seasons that school's had in its history. But Mount Pleasant lost a lot. They lost all 4 of their wide receivers. They lost their quarterback. They lost their running back. They lost some linemen. Mount Pleasant is not going to be the team that they were last year. I think that Cox Mill is the team to look out for in the county, and I think that J.M. Robinson has an opportunity to win double-digit games this year. You heard it here first. If Blue Monroe at quarterback can stay healthy, now they're limited in depth. If their line can stay healthy, then J.M. Robinson can put 10 wins in the column this year. I would have the team in Harrisburg. I would have right now, because it's preseason, J.M. Robinson at number 2. I would have Cox Mill at number 3, and we've talked about this. The rest of the county is wide open right now, so I'd be go with Mount Pleasant based off of last year's success. And then I'm going to go to upstate South Carolina. Pep, you know I saw him at your camp. Yeah. Man, so impressed with Coach Littlejohn, Coach Van Horn. We got Charlotte Flavor in the upstate and Southpointe. They've got the top quarterback around. They've got an offensive line that's incredible. I saw just a glimpse of their wide receivers, and the coaches told me, Coach, if you could see the rest, you would be amazed. So I'm going to go with what they say, and I like Southpointe.
There it is. Good stuff, man. Producer, what you got something here? What you got?
Mecklenburg County, that's pretty cut and dry. I'm kind of buying what Mr. Mcclamrock is selling here with Cabarrus, based on the, using the spring body of work. I think J.M. Robinson could, leap to that 2 spot or even compete for 1 based on how Hickory Ridge, pans out. I think J.M. Robinson could leapfrog Mount Pleasant and will give that 1 ranking, give it a run for them. Give Hickory Ridge a run for their money to take that 1 spot. But everything else, based on looking at the spring and what's coming back, everything else I think is fine for now. But we'll shake it up quite a bit after we play some games.
Absolutely. Clean, you got any thoughts here?
Okay, so the only question I have is, these are what are the rankings based off of? Is it off of the talent that they've acquired, or what? Because I'm trying to figure out why Shelby. I love Shelby. Don't get me wrong, Coach Webb. Don't bite my head off. But I just don't see why they would be number 1
in their county.
Yes, I know.
Who would you have number 1 in Cleveland County?
Well, I mean, I just don't know. The only thing I know about Shelby is like who they played last year. So I can't really speak that highly on it, but so that's why I was asking like what the rankings are based off of.
Just who the best team is. Just the number 1 team,
right?
Beat
but
in that county,
it's all things considered: who they lost, who they gained, how they did in the spring, all of that.
Because didn't Kings Mountain beat them? Or was it Burns? Somebody beat them.
Kings
We're
Mountain
talking
beat
about
them.
oh, thank you, Joe.
What happened?
Yeah. But the whole thing with Cleveland County is everybody has a ton of questions. Everybody has something that nobody is a complete football team.
Okay.
Crest lost everybody. Kings Mountain lost everybody. Burns is the only team that actually brought just about everything back, but they're lacking too. So and
Right.
Shelby lost a ton, but the fact of the matter is they also have the most star power.
Okay. I got you. All right. Say less. I'm good.
All right.
Joe, what's your thoughts here?
And of course, Professor Mcclamrock, as I like to call him. Of course, Southpointe, of course, is the name program in York County, of course. I tend to give the nod more to Northwestern right now. And Northwestern's bringing a ton back, and they actually played for the state semifinals last year, lost to T.L. Hanna. They are loaded, and they are absolutely primed and ready for a deep run again this year. And I also think that 5A, Upper State 5A is a little less difficult than Upper State 3A is. Or 4A, I mean.
Okay. Good insight. Good insight. We're going to be at that game. I think it's going to be a heck of a game Saturday at District 3. And we're going to talk about it in a little bit. So a couple comments here. First of all, Dillinger, thanks for watching, Dillinger. Who has the best offense in Gaston County? My opinion, you got to go with the Red Bone right now. I mean, it's
They're the
been
only
working. Yeah.
They're the only thing that actually is known. Everyone else is.
Yeah, it's a mixed bag right now. So definitely Southpointe, Dillinger. Thanks for watching. Jim West. Hey, Jim, come on, man. Westopedia. Come on, man. You know what I'm talking about. The door is open. But if Crest is 4 out of 4 in the county, you know you're in a great football county. Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. Cleveland County is one of the best counties of football in the state of North Carolina. And right now, that's where we got Crest. Damian Jackson saying switch Monroe and Porter Ridge. Porter Ridge is very good. I think that would be a heck of a game. If those two did, end up playing at some point. So, yeah. A lot of these right now, when you don't have a lot to go on, a lot of these, scrimmages and jamborees got rained out, or in our case at the CFI Classic, we got lightninged out. So you don't know a lot about, where everyone stands right now. But this is what we got. This is another new thing we're doing. You get this every week, preseason county rankings from Football Focus Weekly. But right now, the star of the show is here. I'm going to put everybody in the background. And we're going to go to our one and only guest this evening because we got so much football to talk about. He is the head football coach of the Hickory Ridge Raging Bulls. He is a friend of the show. He's been on here before. And in my Tom Joyner voice, he is the hardest working coach in the Charlotte metro area. That is Jupiter Wilson, and I'm glad to bring him on the show right now.
How you doing?
Man,
How you doing, Matt?
I'm doing great, man. I'm doing great. How you been?
Doing good, man. Doing pretty well, man. No complaints. Just actually just finished football practice. Had a little heat delay, and then we just finished the open house. So I literally just walked out of that at 8:00, then turned you guys on.
Man, we love your dedication, man. We appreciate it so much.
Right.
So first of all, this weather stuff has been crazy late with lightning and the heat and the storms and everything. But how have you guys been able to, manage through everything and navigate and get ready for, week one?
For the most part, it's gone pretty well. We'll admit that we had a little issue last week with some things that everybody dealt with, a little COVID and all that good stuff. But this past week's gone pretty well. We had a heat deal today. But other than that, kids have been working hard, fighting through a little adversity that we've had. and just done the things that we need to do, man. I've said it 1,000 times. I'm excited about this group's team and what we have and all those type of things. But I know a lot of teams go through those different things, and we can't allow those things to be an excuse. But there definitely can be stumbling blocks.
Yeah, it seems like everybody's just dealing with something right now. And usually, that we used to cry about eligibility this time of year and getting practice days in, and now we've got much bigger issues.
Bigger issues, man. Much bigger issues.
I would rather eligibility be the number one issue like it used to be. But so you guys, obviously ended the spring in the playoffs. What has been the progression of your team from that time till now? And how have you guys changed how you get ready because it's been such of a short break between seasons?
I think the biggest thing for our team this year, from last year's team to this year's team that, we talked about in the off season was just the maturation of just leadership. I think last year's team, we kind of missed on that a little bit. And this year's team was something that I really wanted to make sure that we did. So I put our group in leadership groups. They had a captain and a vice president and just, matched them up with about 8 or 10 guys. If guys were late, teams had to do, that group had to do burpees or whatever. And the biggest thing that's happened with that group moving forward is just a lot more trying to force leadership upon, those kids. I know a lot of times we say, hey, man, we got to get these kids stronger. We got to get them to understand how to run the schemes. But when it comes to culture and leadership, we kind of just say, oh, they're not born leaders. And I just kind of put it on myself to say, you know what, I got to make them leaders. And just going into the season, as I said again, man, just exciting times with the group that we have, exciting times with the senior leadership group that we have. Got a lot of returning guys on offense, a few on defense, and the coaching staff has been bought in. So this summer, man, we've had probably the most kids have been at workouts. I mean, one day we looked up, it was about 95 kids, and the next day it was like 102. And I was like, man, if we got this many kids now, what's going to be like when we get to practice? And that first day of practice, man, we had 125 kids. So the numbers for this year, probably, I don't know what it was in previous years, but definitely probably the biggest team Hickory Ridge has ever had. Like, I passed out jerseys today for JV, and I know we got about 65 kids, and we ran out of jerseys. So,
oh man, problems that people would love to have.
Problems that people would love to have.
That's great, man. So obviously, you've got a lot of guys coming back, as you said. Expectations and rankings. We've got you ranked 6th in our Dirty Dozen poll, which is a regional poll of different counties. And then we've got you number 1 in Cabarrus County. How do you guys manage the expectations that are, being laid at your doorstep now from what you have done and then what, you have coming back this season?
I think from the standpoint of the local region of Cabarrus County, people kind of look at us from the Cabarrus County, say, oh, you guys are good. But I think in the bigger scheme of things, we're teetering on the doorstep of what those Charlotte schools or those maybe Cleveland County or Union County schools are. And for us, especially how we've managed to do our schedule in the preseason, I was going to say a lot about what we are. We start off with Hunter Huss and then play Charlotte Catholic, then play Porter Ridge, and then play Vance. And I think before we even get to technically Cabarrus or Iredale schools, we'll know where we are. So I think our kids, maybe if we just had a Cabarrus County schedule, might be a little bit different. But I don't get the sense of complacency because I think they know what we got going on those first 4 weeks before we even get to those Cabarrus County schools. So I think from a tempered expectation deal, we haven't had that sense of complacency because I'm wanting to make sure that we put up a schedule that says, hey, man, we're going to have to beat these teams, not just trying to win a conference title, but if we want to win a state title and go far, we've got to be able to man up and do well versus those big name schools.
I applaud you for scheduling like that because, I see it on social media all the time. Chambers keeps looking for a game. And then, I see you commenting on there and, talking about, we ain't ducking no smoke. And, that's what you got to do, man. Like you said, you want to win a state title, you got to play the best and, see where you stand and put your guys in tough situations and, see, how you can handle it. So,
yeah.
I applaud, you for doing that, man.
Yeah, I think a lot of times in those situations, as coaches, we want, want to win, keep your job, all those type of things. But at some point, if you want your kids to kind of get over the hump, they're going to have to face that adversity at some point. It just can't just happen when it's in the playoffs. So I just told myself when it came around that if I can get a chance to do it now, just go ahead and do it, and we'll see where we stand, man. The worst thing that can happen is you lose the game, and if, the other things turn around and you win the game, then I think it's a big confidence booster for our kids. So last year, even with Chambers, now Chambers last year advanced, our JV team, and a lot of those kids now on varsity, they came over there and they had no fear in their hearts. And, after the game, I know our JV coach, and, we joked about it. I know they call it the money team, and he's like, well, the money team met the collection team today, and we had to pay. So those kids are excited, man. I'm excited about that group of kids from those juniors that came up from the JV and those juniors that were here last year, man. We had a really good nucleus for what this season can be.
Excellent, man. Good stuff. All right, Coach. The Queen has a question for you. I'm going to bring her on and let her ask you. Queen, you ready?
How you doing, Coach?
I'm doing good, Sheree. How you doing?
I'm doing good.
All
So
right.
switching sides for just a second. So I noticed that over the summer you were actually a part of the Carolina Panthers junior training camp.
Right.
So I just wanted to know for some of those, rising ninth graders, or even some of the earlier middle school kids, what kind of words of wisdom did you have for those guys during that camp?
Pretty much just letting them know that football, no different than any other sport, man. Hopefully, is a lifelong thing, and continue to play it, keep it, enjoy it. At this age, for those guys doing it, it's definitely a joyous occasion, a joyous time that they get to do it. And that the higher they get up, ninth grade, going to college, the expectations for them are going to be a lot different. I know they all want to get there, which was what I did when I was there, but most importantly, they just need to have fun, man. That's the thing that, I still coach, and I'm now 39 going on 40, but the reason why I coach, because it's fun. I coach because I get a chance to be around young people and impact them in different ways, and just trying to let them know to enjoy the moment of what they're living in, and, don't get frustrated because they drop a pass or lose a game or whatever. It's going to happen no matter, what life brings at you. You playing the sport of football or playing the sport in general, you're going to have some ups and downs, but it can be life's greatest teacher. So, that's kind of what I did, and I enjoyed it. And I think for those kids getting a chance to do it at an NFL type practice facility, just to see what guys that they aspire to get to do and say, hey, man, I got a chance to do that.
Thanks, Coach.
Thank you, Queen. Great question. I know that was a fun experience, Coach, and I think you've done that a couple times now. Correct?
Yeah, last year was my second time. The first year was a virtual, so I actually did a camp by myself, and they just filmed me, and then that was sent out to all the 7th to 8th graders for them to follow. And then this year was actually where I got to do it hands-on.
Awesome. Good stuff. All right, your former rival, Kenneth Mcclamrock, has a question for you. I'm going to bring him on.
Coach, what's up, brother?
What's up, man?
Man, how are you?
I'm doing good, man. Busy, but I'm doing well.
Yes, sir. Appreciate you coming on 2 nights before game number 1. I know how busy you are. I know Hunter Huss is taking screenshots trying to figure out what kind of stun and blitz you got drawn up in the background. But, Coach, you've talked about it on the show now. Both times you've been on, me and you have talked about this a lot, and that's how much you desire your kids to mature as a young man with your character classes and your leadership classes. Because I'm going to go a little bit strange of a question maybe, but 20 or 30 years from now, what is it that you want your players, these current Hickory Ridge Bulls, what is it that you want them to remember about this 2021 season?
I always have a motto, and we talked about real man, and that cliche or that acronym is respect. Respect all people, especially women. Always do the right thing. And then the L part of that is live a life that matters. So, from the 2020 year to 2021, that's going to probably be the main thing that they always do. I think the biggest thing with this team, I guess you kind of got models. I didn't really do team deal, but it just comes from a standpoint of leadership and accountability. So one of the things, like I told Matt earlier, that was one thing I felt was a little bit lacking. Instead of saying, hey, you guys aren't leaders and da-da-da-da, I put it on myself as a coach to say, how can I cultivate that? So, I put the guys in groups, gave them captains and leaders, told those things that they're going to have to police themselves. I mean, one day we got here as a coaching staff, I make my staff meet at 7 a.m. regardless in the summer. So kids get here at 8. And the coach is like, hey, man, let's not go out there at 8 o'clock. Let's go out there at 8:04 or 8:05. And one of my coaches just went out there just to see what they were doing. And there was in the aux gym. And he's like, Coach, they've already started warm-ups. They've already clapped it up. And he's like, they're going. I said, there's, and they said, he kind of joked with me, said, they're getting it. And then the very next day after we finished that, once they finished the warm-up, it's like, hey, Coach, what we're doing today? I said, it's on y'all. I said, we're not going to tell you to lift a weight. We're not going to tell you to do a practice. Y'all run it. Whatever y'all do, we're going to do. And so you start to see a lot of what I want to see from this group of guys just saying, taking ownership, man, because once that game is starting, we play Hunter Huss, it's Coach Ennis or Coach Shepard's going to call the plays, and I'll try to manage everything. But you guys got to go out there and execute. When something goes bad, it's going to be on you to tell us what you see because of the things that we can't see. And I really think that is starting to permeate throughout the team, man, and I'm excited.
Awesome. Thanks, Coach.
Thank you, Kenneth. Great stuff, man. All right, Coach, I want to ask you about Christian Hamilton, obviously one of the best recruits in the nation, man. In your opinion, what makes that young man so special?
He just got that it, man. A lot of big-time guys, they're flashier, they talk, or they do all those things. He really doesn't say much, man. He's just a real quiet kid. He's trying to take on that leadership role for us. This year as a junior, he had a captain role actually as a sophomore. And I just think right now he is taking that just next level. We're in a practice or in our scrimmage last Saturday, and he was playing safety on the opposite side. They ran a jet sweep, and he just came up and made the tackle. And I looked, and I thought that play was going to be about 7 or 8 yards. And then he came and made the tackle, and I was like, yep, that's just a D1 guy making a play. And I think this year he's just kind of taking on in a quiet round because he doesn't really say much. Just saying, you know what, in my role as being a safety, which he didn't really play last year, but he's going to start for us, and then being a wide receiver, that, you can put the load on my back and then I can go out there and make plays. So, I mean, you throw the ball, he's going to catch it. You put him in open field, he's just going to make the tackle. He doesn't say much, quiet kid. And, I've never been around a kid that quiet as a football player that was just that good. And because of how he is as a person, how he is a player, everybody just gravitates towards him. And I'm expecting big things out of him.
Absolutely. I remember I did an interview when he was, a little younger with him, and I remember a lot of comments saying, wow, you actually got him to talk. It's amazing to see a kid so talented be so humble.
So humble.
Yeah.
Doesn't say 2 words at practice, but, man, he just go out there and he just balls out.
Absolutely, man. Mizzle, one of our dedicated watchers, says, heard Jupe is coaching golf and swimming. My guy.
Oh, man. That's what I get a lot, man.
So I have to ask, every time I see you, I have to ask you, man, how do you keep doing this, man? It's amazing.
It's just, man, you know what? I think the biggest reason why I do it, or how I'm able to do it, man, I love what I do, man. And then the second part is just compartmentalizing. Actually, as I was sitting there doing the open house, a couple girls came up to me and said, hey, Coach, I want to play basketball when the workout starting. And I told them, I said, we got practice after school for football, so you may not like this, but I'm going to be doing workouts at 5:45 a.m. So next Monday, my girls going to be there at 5:45 a.m. and we'll do girls basketball workouts and then teach class all day. And then we'll have football practice in the afternoon. And I, did a good thing trying to take some of the load off. And I hired Coach Williams. She was a former track star at Florida State. And I hired her to help me with the sprint. So she's going to kind of help me with the indoor track going towards outdoor track to kind of take some of that load off. But, I just love what I do, man. I think, you show kids that you care, man. They'll break down doors for you and all that good stuff. And, I think that's why in all these sports here, for the most part, we've been successful. Football, we've been successful. Basketball, we were successful. And track, we've been successful. And I got a great group of coaches around me that just allow me to do what I do.
Absolutely. Well said, man. That's awesome. My last question for you, man. You've got a great offensive line up there, and I coached a really good offensive line at Harding. We were featured in the Observer and all that. But do you have a nickname for your offensive line?
You know what? I made a little what do you call it? Picture deal, I guess, graphic, and I called it protectors. But I really hadn't really thought about that. Might have to, talk to those guys and kind of figure out that is, man. Like I said, it's a great group of guys. Great group of young men to work with each and every day. They all kind of got their different personalities that you kind of got to learn how to coach and how to deal with. But the thing that's kind of special about that group, especially 3 out of the 5, they've been here pretty much since I've been here. First year as an assistant, and then the last 3 as the head coach, and then the other 2, one senior, one junior, practically has been here the past 2 years. So those guys have just been with me, man, in the weight room grinding. And I think, when we go out there in our scrimmages and what I think we can do this year, man, I think, when you look at most teams, hey, he's got a quarterback and he's got a wide receiver, and we have those things, but I can say, hey, man, my offensive line is, in my opinion, matches up with anybody, in the state. And I really do believe that with those 5 guys. So that's kind of my tip in the feather. And, as an offensive line guy, getting a chance to coach them and, them taking on my mentality about things, I'm excited about what we can do this year with that group. So maybe I'll call you back and get a name for them. We had that twist, man. I know you got Hollywood for the kid at Chambers and some other nicknames that they got. Maybe I can come with a name for those 5 guys to get the old linemen some press.
There you go. Got a couple comments, Coach. GW for life saying the bullies.
All right.
There's one suggestion. And then Chris Hagler saying Coach Wilson is the best thing that has happened for Hickory Ridge High School in many years. Great guy and role model. So
wow, I appreciate that.
Nice words from Chris there. Coach, appreciate the time as always. Good luck this week against Hunter Huss. And, of course, we'll see you real soon, man.
Sounds good, man. Appreciate you having me on, man. Continue to do what you do. Promoting high school sports and high school football in this area, man. It's a great job that you do.
Appreciate it. Thank you, Coach.
Not a problem.
All right, bud. All right, so that's Jupiter Wilson, one of our favorite guys from Hickory Ridge. They're taking on Hunter Huss at home this week. So get on out there and support those guys if you're a Hickory Ridge fan. We'll bring the crew back. We got our other guest is here. He's featured this week. Kenneth, Kenneth does all the wonderful graphics that you guys see. I wish I was that good, but I'm not. But our other featured guest is here. Well, I got to introduce him. Hold on, let me get that off the screen. There we go. The illustrious Brandon Phillips.
Oh, featured guest.
Welcome.
This is why I don't come on.
The fresh cut, looking good, Coach Phillips.
School. Time to go back to school.
Ooh,
gotta be a role model.
There you go. We're glad to have you, man. We're glad to have you. Well, one person is not glad to have you.
Oh man. It's expected. Join the line. It's a line.
I think there's a line for all of us, to be honest with you.
But one day people gotta understand. It don't bother me. Just drink my water and do me.
All right, hey, hold on now. You gotta drink your body armor now. Drink your body armor with that water.
Nah, me and Coach Washington over there, we don't have some words about that.
We'll talk about that later.
Me and Brandon still mad about that. We'll promise a carton of body armors.
I have something for you, man. I got something for you.
I want it. Can you deliver?
Tell me. We was hot.
Yep.
And we had to bring our own water. I was about to pass out up there.
Didn't have no kind of superior hydration. I had regular hydration. I needed superior.
God, no, we was out there.
Hydration.
I think we was out there drinking our spit. We was out there so hot.
Feel like football practice again.
I've missed you so much, Illustrious. It's good to have you. All right.
My fault, y'all. Y'all know how I do. It's different role. I'm in a different role now.
I know you are. I know. All right, now it's time for the Blitz. Week 1 featured games in Mecklenburg County. We got kickoff night tomorrow night. I will be there. I believe Justin is going to be there.
I'll be there.
Illustrious is going to be there. So we got 2 games. First game, South Meck Charlotte Catholic at 5 o'clock. Myers Park Huff at 8 o'clock. You start looking at that first game. We did see 20 minutes of South Meck at the CFI Classic for whatever that's worth.
The thunderstorm.
Oh my gosh. Anyway, physical. That's my first impression on South Meck. They're a physical team. We know Charlotte Catholic is physical as well. I think this is going to be a lower scoring game. I think both of these defenses are pretty good. And then both of these teams on the offensive side of football want to establish the run early in the season. I think we're going to be, a lower scoring game, defensive oriented, field position, all those kinds of things. What do you guys think on that one?
South is good. South is good. Like you said, they're a very physical team. Look who their head coach is. They embody their head coach mentality. That's a good game. Catholic is very disciplined. You play Catholic, you got to be very disciplined. You don't get a disciplined team. They don't run the same thing. They don't run the ball straight at you. And, hey, I'm very interested in that game.
Yeah, I think that game is going to be closer than what some people may expect. I think South.
We'll see.
Yeah, I think they're really improved for sure. And then Myers Park and Huff, two of our top teams in our rankings. A lot of athletes on both sides of the field. It'll be interesting hopefully we don't get rain. The pattern has been rain in the evenings. This is an 8 o'clock start at Memorial Stadium. You guys got some thoughts? Go ahead, Phillips.
Like you said, the rain. That's the only thing we don't want because I was on the phone with a coach in South Carolina. It's rain already coming from up. It's like a big whirlwind of rain coming from up that way towards you. So that's the game you want to see right there. That's the game that people want to see. They want to see how good Huff is and how good Myers Park is. Huff's got them backs now. And, that defense, they always keep a defense. It's going to be a physical game. And Myers Park got some new faces, and we want to see what they don't do. I heard a lot of good things about them. So, hey.
Did either of these teams scrimmage?
Myers Park did not. So I don't know about Huff. Huff is like Fort Knox. You don't get all the secrets up there.
Maybe they feel they don't need to.
This is going to be a game for Myers Park to see, just I guess kind of start to see where they are, as a team. Like we were saying earlier, there's a lot of question marks there. So this will be a good indication of what they're going to look like for the rest of the season, for sure.
We know Huff's on a mission. I'm sure they've circled things. They got bulletin board material. We know, how far they felt they could go last year, and it didn't just quite pan out. So Huff is motivated. Got to be.
Yeah, got a lot of talent. We don't see who the best quarterback is in the city that game.
Good point. In the CMS Best, that is the number 1 and number 2 quarterbacks. Kenneth, you got a point you want to share here?
No, I'm with you guys. I mean, it's a great week of football to open the season. Some great games here. Yeah.
All right. Chambers going up to
they hang with me too much.
The Raleigh area. Chambers is taking on Cardinal Gibbons. That's going to be a good matchup right there. People that don't know much about Cardinal Gibbons, they're a very strong team in that area of the state. They did make the 4A title game last year against Grimsley. Of course, Grimsley won, but that gives you an idea of the kind of team that Cardinal Gibbons is. But Chambers, new quarterback, but same deal, man. Obviously, they went down to Spartanburg and put on a show, winning the scrimmage 35-10. But by all reports, they looked impressive on both sides of the football. What do you guys' thoughts on that one?
Yeah.
Chambers is Chambers. Chambers is exactly who we think they are.
But like you said, Cardinal Gibbons is good. They're very well coached. Shout out to their DC. He's a good guy, young guy. It just Chambers is tough, but like you said, you gotta play him. It's like what Coach Jupe said, man. People gotta stop being scared to play him. Like it's gonna get you better. Like we played when I was at West Charlotte last year because it's in conference. It's a good motivator. You want to play them tough games. You gotta play them tough games. But that's a tough one because I tell you what, I've been over there and watched them practice before the season started, like when we were doing summer. And that's a lot of talent. It's a lot of talent. And people got questions about the quarterback. Don't question that quarterback is good. He's really good. Yep. And now in the O-line, that's one of the biggest O-lines I've seen had in a long time. And you got to remember that D-line, man, you got a college D-line.
My Lord.
There's no slacks. It's just they're a good football team, but you guys got to play sound football. And you got one of the best backs in the nation, not even the state, the nation. I don't know. That's a tough game. But, respect to Cardinal Gibbons playing that game.
Yeah, exactly.
I think you got to put respect on both sides. Respect for Chambers, too, for scheduling, a quality out of season.
But we know, Chambers wouldn't play anybody. That's their mentality. They would go play anybody. And, you got to respect that about that because you got a lot of top teams in the state that won't do that. They'll wait to the playoffs. So you got to give them, like you said, you got to give them respect too. So I agree with you, Brandon.
All right, good stuff. Let's go. Mallard Creek at Butler. Mallard Creek 4-3. Most teams would like a 4-3 season. Just hypothetically speaking, but for Mallard Creek, the standard is a lot higher. So a disappointing 4-3 season. Taking on a Butler team that they didn't get to play in our CFI Classic, but by all accounts, they look really good. From people I trust telling me some different things. Brian Hales obviously doing a great job with those guys. They made the state semifinal last year. We all know the deal with that. I'm excited to see Xavier Brower, take control in Coach Hale's offense. I think that's a really good fit. What do you guys think about that one?
Another team with strong motivation that kind of like similar to her, different situation, but a team that is motivated because the chatter around. If you look, on the on Facebook and different places, with Mallard Creek was done. The empire had crumbled and they pretty much wrote them off. So they're going to be motivated to say, "Oh, we were down, but we're not dead and gone." So they got strong motivation too. Again, opening with extremely talented opponents. So if they're not dead and gone, there's a chance to prove it. But they're motivated. A lot of people wrote them off just after 4-3 season.
But that's the nature. Go ahead, Sheree. My fault.
No, you good. I was just gonna say I think motivation on both sides of that game. Because even for Butler, I think they feel like their season was cut shorter than they would have liked to have seen, from last year. So I think they feel like they still have more to prove to everybody as well. So this is probably going to be, to me, the best game of the week.
Okay.
Yeah, I never write Brian Hales off because Coach Hales always coached him that quarterback up. He don't find a quarterback. It always happens. So and that offense is good. The defense, they still got Coach Stone over there calling the defense. Creek, I cannot speak bad about Mallard Creek because Coach Tinsley, some of the stuff did for us over here at Gantry. Hey, respect to him. So I don't talk bad about people who do good stuff for us over here at the G. So I got respect. I have a lot of respect to Coach Tinsley, good guy. So.
Oh yeah, Coach Tinsley's a really good. I spoke with him, a few occasions. It's tough. It's tough replacing a legend in Mike Palmieri and, with everything, obviously with COVID, coming in and dealing with all the things you had to deal with. And
no chance, that's all.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, y'all got – I would tell everybody who's a Mallard Creek fan, regardless of what happened this year, just get that stay behind him. He got that program going the right direction. Sometimes you just got to come in there. You got to rewrite stuff your way. You got to do things your way. Kenneth will tell you that. He's been a head coach. Sometimes – you got to do it. You got to get people to buy in, and that's one of the toughest things. So Hey, we're experiencing some of that even at the G. We're trying to get people to buy in, but they're starting to come around. So you just gotta let it happen. Just let it happen. It's only the second season, and his first season was a COVID year. So hey, that's tough.
Exactly. All right, a couple comments before we move on. Miss Moten. I wish I could get badges for like top viewers, because I would give Miss Moten a top viewer badge, but she's going with South for, good reasons, I'm sure.
Because of Panos.
Jim West is taking Huff by a couple of scores. Big Webb taking Chambers over Gibbons by 14. And then Patrick Clemens, thanks for watching, Patrick. Cardinal Gibbons is the Charlotte Catholic in the Raleigh area. So
yeah, they are. They are.
There you go. That gives you a good vision of what Gibbons is. So, all right, good stuff on the Mecklenburg County Blitz. Let's go to the next county. Union County. Charlotte Christian at Weddington, Monroe at Marvin Ridge, and Parkwood at Cuthbertson. What about those matchups stand out to you guys, if anything?
Monroe at Marvin Ridge.
What you got, Phillips?
Because you want to see I've been hearing good things about both teams, and that's a good measuring point right there. The Charlotte Christian and Weddington, that's gonna tell you a lot about Weddington. I heard, like I said, we've been hearing good things about even Parkwood, heard some good things. Cuthbertson's been playing some really good football this summer, and I think this is the year for them. I don't know how I expect them to go pretty far. I don't know if they state champion contender, but they playing good football right now. So, Union County they play some football in Union County. Like Kenneth said, we got to stop saying, hey, only good football get played in Mecklenburg County. It's good football get played in Union County.
Absolutely, for sure. The one thing that stands out to me about all 6 of these schools, great coaching. Great coaching across the board. I mean, you just think about, the guys leading those programs. Christian and Weddington, look at both of those teams. Christian lost a good bit, from their state championship team last year. Weddington obviously has lost, some guys to graduation. It'll be interesting to see where both of those teams stand. That's a good measuring stick for both programs. Monroe and Marvin Ridge, I think you're going to have some great athletes on both sides of the football. And then, same thing with Parkwood and Cuthbertson. 2 up-and-coming programs in Union County. I think all 3 of these have great potential to be great games for all 4 quarters. I don't see a blowout on that screen right there at all. Anyone else got thoughts about Union County this week?
Obviously, Parkwood, Cuthbertson, 2 head coaches who are friends to our show. I'm really excited to see what Coach Giddens looks like. Last year, he was building up and doing so many things to lay the foundation. I think this is going to be a breakout year for the Parkwood Wolfpack. Tough to say that.
There you go.
NWO.
Anyways.
Hey, I'm sorry. 90s wrestling, baby. You hear that Wolfpack?
We don't need to get on that tangent because you and Brandon and myself will start talking for 20 minutes.
We'll be all about
the football. All right, let's move on to the next county. We got Cabarrus County. We got Mount Pleasant at Central Cabarrus, West Cabarrus at Northwest Cabarrus, and Concord at J.M. Robinson. Kenneth, you lead the way,
Go ahead.
sir.
This is some great football right here, baby. We got to say that, Pat. We got to make sure we say that.
Well, Mount Pleasant and Central Cabarrus is one of the oldest rivalries in the county. For Mount Pleasant people, Central Cabarrus is the big rival. So I'm glad that this game remained on the schedule. Mount Pleasant, I mentioned earlier, they lost a lot of talent. It'll be interesting to see what Coach Johns cooks up. One thing we always know is his defenses are going to be technically sound. They're going to get after it, and they're going to hit people really hard. Central Cabarrus lost a lot of talent last year. There are a lot of young players. He still has guys who are my guys, Emerson Baker and, a bunch of guys. But it'll be interesting to see how they adapt to the players that have been lost. And this is the first full season under Bev. So this will tell us a lot about how much buy-in that those guys have with Coach Bev, and I know they bought into them. West Cabarrus at Northwest Cabarrus. I think this is another intriguing game. I mean, we talked about that Northwest is in a conference where there's a lot of parity. They have an opportunity to do really well this year. It's Coach Mormon's second year. It'll be interesting to see. I know last year Northwest Cabarrus had a ton of talent. They were one of the more athletic teams in the county. It'll be interesting to see how much they've changed. They seem like a team that was trying to find their way last year. West Cabarrus, of course, lost their coach at the start of the summertime suddenly. But a lot of West Cabarrus's kids came from Northwest Cabarrus. So that's going to be a natural rivalry there. And then late change, Concord at J.M. Robinson. I mean, I've already said it. I think J.M. Robinson wins 10 football games this year. I think Concord is much improved. But if I was a betting, well, I'm not gonna. I'll just bet on the last one. I've got J.M. Robinson.
There you go, Kenneth. You're doing better, man.
Anybody else got some Cabarrus County thoughts?
No, great football. That's all I can say. Great football. Great football playing county. Try to get our ratings back, man.
For the record, I'm undefeated against Garinger as well, Coach Phillips. So everywhere you go, man, I'm undefeated against.
Well, not with Charlotte. We had that talk offline.
I have a severely exaggerated winning record against West Charlotte.
All right, so great football in Cabarrus County. Get out there, support your schools. I'm glad J.M. Robinson and Concord were able to work that out. That's awesome. It's going to be a lot of that this season with COVID just continuing, to just ravage.
Be smart, guys. We got to be smart. You got to be smart. We got to be smart. Times have changed. We got to be smart. Make sure them kids just going home and going to school.
All right, so in Gaston County, 2 games here. East Gaston and North Gaston, apparently this is a big rival game. Both sides have told me this, covering different things in camps over the summer. So there's a lot of excitement around that game.
East side versus North side. Pep, come on, bro.
I know, it's right up the street from me. North Gaston, right up the street, 5 minutes. And then Lincolnton at Southpointe. I think, Southpointe is definitely probably, we got them number 1 in our Gaston County rankings, so I like them in that one. And then, East Gaston, that East Gaston North Gaston matchup, it was a really good game last year, and I think both of these teams, are looking to obviously start off on a good foot this year. And there's a lot of positivity coming out of East Gaston, and they feel like they can have winning season and possibly even make the playoffs. So. There's a couple comments coming in about that. Coach Webb, East Gaston has some of the best fans regardless of the outcome on Friday nights.
Whoa, he got PR rep now. We say that's Webb.
Southpointe beats Lincolnton. I'll take North Gaston over East Gaston. Well, Jim, I would probably agree with you on the first one, but I would like East Gaston over North Gaston if I had to pick right now. That's where I would go.
Good job, Pep.
I don't know why, Joe, I ain't putting that one up. I don't know what but anyway.
He's probably right.
Gaston County, man, it's gonna be an interesting year in Gaston County. Outside of Southpointe, I think things are just kind of wide open. Those county rankings, I think, are going to change a good bit as time goes on, and teams have a chance to play their way into the top 4 of the county. So, good stuff. Coach Webb's crazy. All right, now on to the next one. You guys are on Facebook, you'll see that comment.
That dude, wow.
All right, so
the
game me and producer are going to be at Shelby at Kings Mountain, and then we got Burns taking on Forest View out of Gaston County. You guys got any thoughts on either one of those?
Webb don't tell me that it's supposed to be a big win on Friday.
Oh, okay.
That's what he told me. I'm putting him on the spot. Coach Webber said that y'all are Shelby.
Well, dang, illustrious. I mean,
he said it's redemption season.
All right.
That's what he told me. I said, oh man.
All right, so for Shelby, Shelby obviously coming off, a year where they didn't win a state title, so it's a disappointment, high expectations. And then
damn.
Kings Mountain, little disappointing loss in the second round of the playoffs last year. But both of these teams won their scrimmages. Shelby 10-7 over an improved Asheville team, and then Kings Mountain 14-3 over a very good Charlotte Catholic team. So both teams,
Didn't know that.
Yeah, well, Catholic, they do some different things with their scrimmages and stuff.
Catholic be chilling during the scrimmage.
Yeah, they work on a lot of different stuff. But both teams, there's a lot of excitement for both of these schools this year, especially out of Kings Mountain. Losing so much, to graduation now, seeing that result, the Mounties are excited. We're going to be there. 7:30 start. I'm excited about that. Yes! What it should be across the state. My goodness.
Amen.
Let's see. Coach Webb's got a comment here. Yes, sir. Big Shelby. It's no doubt in my mind that if we play our best game and they play their best game, we'll come out on top.
He has a PR rep guy. That is not how Coach Weber talks. He has a PR rep. That's not how he speaks. I'm telling y'all, I know him. No. He's a PR person.
Oh, man. And then Burns at Forest View. I know Joe Hughes has told us Forest View has a pretty strong defense. Burns has a lot coming back. But week one games can be kind of funny. I think both of these games can be good games, for sure.
Yes, sir.
Let's see. Jim West, big fan of Forest View, but I think Burns wins might be a good game. I think it will be. When you got a lot of returning starters on defense, it helps ease things a little bit, in week one. Anybody else got thoughts on Cleveland County here?
Great football.
Thank you, Phillips.
You're welcome.
All right. Upstate South Carolina, new area, but we're familiar with it. We covered it in the fall last year with COVID. All right, so we got Southpointe Northwestern. This game is at District 3 Stadium in Rock Hill on Saturday night. Nation Ford at Indian Land, and then Fort Mill at Catawba Ridge. So, you guys have any thoughts on these matchups? I will go first. So Southpointe Northwestern, I think, is a huge matchup. They're number 1 and number 2 in our upstate South Carolina rankings. Kenneth shared earlier, his thoughts on Southpointe. Obviously Xavier McCrory, the quarterback, ultra talented kid. He was at our camp, 6'5", cannon for an arm, throws a beautiful ball. And they've got some other guys, Jordan McVeigh on the offensive line, for example, and some skilled guys that, can really get it done. And then Northwestern, me and producer saw them a couple times last season, in the regular season and throughout the playoffs. We saw them, I think, three times.
Yeah.
Yeah. Will Madison at quarterback, another talented quarterback. Excited to see him again. And Coach Paige Wofford has done a great job in, turning that program around from a little bit of a down period to now where they are a big 5A state contender. That's going to be a huge game. Hopefully it'll be a good-sized crowd. They've always treated us friendly at District 3, so I'll be excited to get down there and cover that game on a Saturday night. Saturday night in Rock Hill, man, hey, you better watch out. Nation Ford at Indian Land. Nation Ford, Carson Black at quarterback. I mean, that's all you really got to say. Coach Johnson's offensive coordinator, former coach at Cuthbertson, and Hopewell was OC at Berry. They throw it. They throw the heck out of it, and Carson Black can throw it a ton and throw it well. Jarek Foster at receiver, a big-time threat. He's getting some D1 offers, and deservedly so. He's speed personified. Indian Land, Coach Adam Hastings. We know Coach Hastings used to be at RG Kell, was at Providence Day. Coach Nick Mata, his offense coordinator.
Shout out Coach Nick. Shout out Mata, man. Great guy.
Absolutely. This is going to be at their new stadium. I believe their new stadium is ready. So the Indian Land has a beautiful new school. and then a new stadium to go along with it. I know that's going to be exciting. They've got some talented kids in their own right at Indian Land. So that's going to be a fun game. I think it has the potential to be a high-scoring game. I think it was last year, if I remember correctly, over at Nation Ford. That's going to be a heck of a matchup in the Upstate. And then Fort Mill taking on Catawba Ridge. That's a battle of Fort Mill. Catawba Ridge. The big news with Catawba Ridge, Jaden Davis has been ranked the #1 player in the 2024 class, quarterback. We did an interview with Jaden in the offseason. He is a heck of a young man. Really impressed with him. Obviously, his talent on the field, but in that interview, I'm gonna go back and find it and cut it up a little bit and post it. But his football intelligence is incredible. And then he carries himself just as a normal teenager. He's very humble and he doesn't give you that air of being arrogant. Even though he's so ultimately talented, I think that's one of the best things about him. So I expect him to have a huge year for Catawba Ridge, coming off of their run to the state semifinals and only the second year of the school being opening. Coach Zach Glenyak's doing an incredible job with those guys. And then Jacoby Henderson committed to Marshall, a great athlete on both sides of the ball. And they've got some other talented kids in that program as well. So I expect them to have another big season. So big-time football being played in the Upstate. We're going to start talking about them a lot more here on Football Focus Weekly. Joe Hughes with a good comment right here. Will Madison is solid and Northwestern plays better defense than one would tend to believe. Okay. All right, so we'll be out there on Saturday. Me and the producer, we'll check them out, and we'll have some good, pictures and highlights from that matchup for sure. All right, you guys got any other thoughts on the Blitz in South Carolina?
Great job, Pep.
Great football. Good football in the Upstate. All right.
There you go. There you go. I'm going to get a shirt made.
It is that time. Week 1 game predictions. Huff versus Myers Park. Kenneth.
Huff.
Illustrious.
Huff.
Queen.
Huff.
Producer.
Huff.
Clean sweep. It's Huff. Week 1. Monroe at Marvin Ridge. Kenneth.
Monroe.
Illustrious.
I'm going Marvin.
Queen.
Monroe.
You
got to pick one.
I said Monroe.
Oh, I thought you said I don't know. My bad.
No.
Producer.
Monroe.
I'm going to go with Monroe as well. All right, West Cabarrus at Northwest Cabarrus. Kenneth.
Northwest Cabarrus.
Illustrious.
West Cabarrus.
Queen.
Northwest Cabarrus.
Producer.
Northwest Cabarrus.
I am going with Northwest Cabarrus. East Gaston at North Gaston. Kenneth.
East over North.
Illustrious.
East.
Queen.
I'm going to go East.
Producer.
East Gaston.
Give me East Gaston as well. Shelby at Kings Mountain, the Battle of Buffalo Creek. Kenneth.
Big Shelby in the house.
Illustrious.
I'm going to go Big Shelby.
Queen.
I got to go Shelby.
Producer.
I'm going with Almighty Shelby as well.
Woo.
Oh, do I make it a clean sweep? Big Shelby for the win.
Woo.
All right, last one. Nation Ford at Indian Land. Kenneth.
Indian Land.
Illustrious.
Become my guy Mallard there. I'm going Indian Land.
Queen.
I'm just going to go Nation Ford just to make it a competition.
Producer.
I remember seeing them. I'm going Nation Ford. We covered them before. Nation Ford.
I'm mad. He said I remember seeing them.
I remember them. I'm going Nation Ford.
I am going to go. Oh, this is tough. Give me Nation Ford. I might regret that one, but I'm going to go with Nation Ford on that one. All right,
Man,
so
this
this season I am actually going to keep track of the predictions, unlike last year. So before we do predictions, I'll go through records and all that, and by the end of the season, whoever wins will get a trophy or
A
something.
cookout tray.
Church's chicken gift card.
A Church's
cookout.
chicken gift card.
No, a cookout tray.
I take
A cookout tray. A cookout tray in a smoothie.
With those milkshakes.
I'm not turning down a cookout tray.
How
Cookout
about
tray.
how about a box of Church's chicken and a free bottle of
No,
body
we
armor?
already told you what we want. Cookout
Free
tray.
bottle of body armor, man.
Cookout tray.
Milkshake.
Body
Cookout
armor, the
tray.
unofficial drink.
Oreo milkshake.
No,
Charlotte
we
football
want
insiders.
we want to get sponsored by Cookout. We want a
Only
cookout tray.
restaurant where you can have corn dogs for your sides. What you talking about?
Oh, man, cookout tray. We outvoted you. We want a cookout tray.
Cookout tray.
Not like cookout.
Hey, no one else has to see if I
Well, sure,
guess
you're not
card
gonna be
except
in
me.
the running for it anyhow. It doesn't matter.
Yeah, that's why I talk about your NFL predictions.
Wait, what?
Them
Better calm down. Listen,
NFL predictions,
Oh,
boy.
God.
body has a bad season.
Cookout tray.
Ask my
Look,
ask
look,
my
Joe said-
NFL fantasy
Joe-
opponents how their season went last year. 'Cause
But
it
that was
wasn't
not
the
us.
same as this.
It was not us though. It was not us though.
Okay, well,
Cookout tray.
don't you worry about it.
Cookout tray.
Don't you worry about
Cookout tray.
it. Y'all keep that nasty behind cookout tray.
Cookout tray.
Man, look, man. The winner will get something. I just can't leave it up.
No,
to
we
y'all,
already
man.
told you cookout tray.
Well, whatever.
Cookout
All
gift
right.
card, man. Cookout gift card.
Well,
We don't want no
it'll
Church's
be
chicken.
something. It'll be something. How
The
about
Church's
that?
chicken, you get $15. You can eat off that for like about 6-7 times. So,
$15 and a box of grease. A box of grease.
I would just get
All right,
$15
so-
I
for
was at
biscuits.
churches today.
And I
One
would
last-
have get the biscuit. I would have get the biscuit.
Y'all are terrible.
$15
One last thing that we're gonna do before we do the slime, I forgot to do it. CMS Best To Last, the premiere of it. We'll go through it real quick. Let's
you're
see
only doing-
here.
So you're
All
only
right.
doing CMS? You're not going to do the
Oh
whole state?
man.
They're not gonna do what?
You're
Oh
not going to do the
man.
whole state?
The whole state. I told you, some people are better than others.
Oh,
All
okay.
right, and you just
I'll get
admit
you.
it, and you tip your cap.
Oh man,
You
that
know,
hurt.
We try to keep the show to an hour and 30 minutes, so
Just
you know,
do
yeah, I can't do
Is
it.
that something new we're doing?
Back on task.
No, we did this last year.
Yeah, we did.
The
Man, I used to get an argument.
Yeah, so the preseason CMS Best To Last, you see it on the screen. Obviously we know our top teams that we've, kind of highlighted already. But, I know Providence had a question about where they were earlier. I mean, I just got them outside of the Dirty Dozen. If we did the Baker's Dozen, they would be 13. So, in the Dirty Dozen, they're not in it, but Baker's Dozen, I'd have them right there. But I got them 5 in the CMS Best To Last. And then, South Charlotte represented with South Mac, Argykill, Independence Olympic. And then, on the second half, you see it going on down the line right there. But, the good thing about this is, we do this every week. Teams have a chance to play their way up on the Best To Last. Or, they may slide to one side or the other. So, but
I noticed that
preseason,
Coach Phillips left West Charlotte and they moved up the rankings.
It always happens.
Oh, man.
well, he's 2 years removed from Providence, and now they're top 5. So,
God dog, I mean,
hey.
So
what-
there's
what
some hope
can
for
you say?
Ganger.
if he leaves.
Naughty, y'all are terrible.
That don't bother me. Because everybody got to remember when I was at Providence, we went to the playoffs, so it don't bother me.
Yeah, I know.
And you got spanked by Central Cabarrus.
Huh?
Oh, man.
You said what? We got beat by. Yeah, we did. You win some, you lose some.
But
You see my
live
mantra?
to fight another day.
Yeah, my mantra is good, baby. I like it. I like it. Get best of luck to both teams. Matter of fact, you see all 3 teams that I coach at higher than where I'm at now, but it's all right.
Y'all wait. I wish y'all could see what this after the show conversation is gonna be like. I got a feeling it's gonna be really really interesting.
No, I ain't. No, I won't. I'm just going to go outside and smoke my cigar and tell you I have a nice evening. Hey, Coach Bills is at peace.
I think two teams that stand out to me with where they are, Pep. At number 8, Independence. Obviously there's a lot of excitement in the program that will have to wait another week at least. Yeah. And then, Mallard Creek at number 10. I think that is an interesting spot for them. I think that it's a spot where they should be right now, but it'll be interesting to see. We talked about it a moment ago, of course, Coach Tinsley, what he's able to do. And then, Rocky River, man. Rocky River always has a lot of talent, and they've been really close for a while. Of course, we'll see if they're able to put it all together this year.
Real quick on Rocky River, in the 20 minutes of the CFI Classic that we got, they were there with South Make. Both of those teams advanced in the red zone one time each. Rocky River went out on downs, and South Make had a fumble down near the goal line. But, they stood there. I thought they were physical at the point of attack. Khalil Archie was, really good at running the read option. He almost broke one for a touchdown. If he didn't get tripped up on his own guy, he probably would have scored. But, yeah, Rocky River is definitely a team on the right, that I would, definitely look out for. A couple of other teams that stand out on the right-hand side. West Charlotte, we know they have, a good amount of talent over there. We've got a weird delay going on. Let's try to find that. All right, I think we found it. Okay. It's week 1 for everybody. Technical issues. But, West Charlotte has a lot of talent. And if they're able to get into the 3A playoffs, they could have some, possible matchup advantages depending on who they would land. North Mech, they brought several kids to the camp. I thought they were very talented. The team that's flying under the radar that I think has some potential to, win a couple of games early on and maybe slide to the left side of the screen. So, but overall, that's what we got right now in the CMS Best To Last. You'll get that every week as well. So you got the county rankings, you got the Dirty Dozen, you got the CMS Best To Last every week. So we're trying to highlight, more areas, more kids, more schools, and then showcase what they're doing. So, all right, that being said, it is now that time. And I didn't get to do it last week, but this week we're going to do it. Let me get my little thing up there. It is slime time!
Pep, everyone tunes into the show for 2 reasons. Because they want to see what other shows are going to talk about next week, and they tune in for slime time. And you know what, Pep? Since you did it so incredible last week, holding down this show on your own, Pep, we're going to come to you first. Who are you sliming tonight?
Tonight I am sliming Facebook. Facebook, for some reason, feels like it needs to chime in on my dating life. Today, I saw an advertisement when I logged into Facebook that said, "Hey, Matt, why don't you try this new dating thing on Facebook and try to meet people that love nature?" Where in the hell does it say I love nature? Facebook, you are recording the wrong conversations because me, I am not a nature lover. So if you're going to help me, find a lady that loves Church's chicken. All right, that's going to help me a lot more, Facebook. And number 2, don't get into my, post and think that you can help me by suggesting some dating app. Dating apps have got me where I'm at right now. Doing Football Focus Weekly. But it's not bad, I'm just saying. Kenneth, please take it back.
Pep, that brings me back to a couple years ago when I realized that I was getting old and not very cool anymore. When I'm binge watching on Netflix and the little screen comes up that says, "Dude, are you still watching us? Are you that big of a loser that you got nothing else to do than watch Netflix for 3 straight hours?" Pretty soon, Facebook is going to put that post, "Pep, are you still single?" Yes, Facebook, I'm still single because I got football. It's football season, Pep. You ain't got no time for no women.